Hi, and welcome to the premiere episode of Community Roundhouse. I'm John with the Schuylkill River Valley.
And this is Brian with the Denver and Rio Grand Western Iron Horse Route.
We got a pretty exciting show lined up for you tonight, so let's get to it.
And first and foremost, John and I want to thank Braden Terrell for sending in our very first layout photo. Tell them about it, John.
This is a gorgeous photo that Terrell sent us, and it's of the Santa Fe C44-9W number 642 as it takes a late night run through Renford, Kentucky. Braden's layout is based on a fictional town in central Kentucky. It hosts a fantasy short line called Renford Central. The C44-9W is made by Scale Trains and has DCC and sound.
So guys, if you haven't checked out Terrell Time Rail Media, John and I encourage you to shoot over there. There's a link in the bottom after this video is over. Shoot over and check out Terrell Time Rail Media. And the next set of photos was sent to us by our good friend Claude at Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Railroad. Claude hand lays track. He's dual gauge. He makes his own turnouts. He is a model railroad beast. We want to thank you for sending in these photos, Claude. Claude has a fine, excellent layout that's growing right now, and we want to thank you, Claude.
And you can see here where Claude's starting to build a mountain. I guess this is going to be showing up in an upcoming video. We look forward to it.
And we look very forward to seeing it, Claude. We appreciate you again. Please send us more photos in next month so we can see this mountain develop.
Okay, this next photo comes to us from a guy who really knows how to finish a helix. Chuck at CDP 1965 is wrapping the bottom of his helix in cedar paneling.
Yeah, John, I tell you what, I've never seen a pretty helix before, but Chuck knows what he's doing. He's got a great start. It's looking great. We're looking forward to seeing that develop as well. As a matter of fact, I think we've got a video from Chuck that's going to be coming up later in the show.
Yes, we do.
All right. Thank you very much for sending the photos and the videos, Chuck. We're going to get right back to Chuck in just a minute.
For our first layout update video this month, we got a guy who knows what to do with his layout. This is a great way to start a Sunday morning.
Good morning, Hoggers. Sunday morning, trains and coffee. There's Jerry in his truck, trackside.
Running Trains and Coffee with Dale PRR Bass Guy. Got a fantastic looking layout, everybody. Mid-1950s set. I tell you what, I've watched this video several times, and I am extremely impressed with this guy. Fantastic track work. Ballast looks great. Structures look good. Very impressed, Dale. We want to appreciate you sending this stuff.
Brian and I encourage you to check out PRR Guy Bass for more updates on his layout.
Thank you again, Dale. Y'all, it's something to see. Go over and check out Dale PRR Bass Guy. If you have not already, subscribe, click the bell icon. This guy's something to keep an eye on.
And you know, Brian, Dale brought up a point. That Jerry guy, he's everywhere. I mean, Dale found him on his layout trackside, and he's posting videos from all over the place.
You know, this Jerry guy is something else, John. He's a rail fan. He's a modeler. He shoots tons of videos. He's got a question and answer series. He gets around. He's all over the place. I bet he's on everybody's layout somewhere.
Well, you know, down by the P&W line, just as it approaches the 69th Street Terminal, I've seen some tire tracks that I can't account for.
And, you know, I've always got a truck parked under my sawmill. I thought I heard somebody in there talking, but I didn't realize maybe it was Jerry.
It probably was. He's on more layouts than anybody realizes.
You know, one of the things that would be fun is for us to find him all the time.
I think we should. I think we should get everybody to send in some photos and videos. Look for him on your layout.
You know, we need to keep an eye on him. He does have his hands in a lot of pots, John.
I agree. Let's smoke this guy out.
John's exactly right. You got tire tracks on your layout? We need to see him. We're going to try to find this guy. You got trucks on your layout? We need to look inside and see if Jerry's in there. Give us some photos of your layout. Show us these tire tracks. Show us these trucks. Let's see if we can keep an eye on Jerry. Let's see if we can keep him tracked. Shoot, we need to put GPS on Jerry if we could.
Send us those photos and videos, and we'll be back next month with So Where's Jerry?
And you know what? We might be lucky enough if we can find him and keep him tracked down. We might even be able to get him on the show one day.
Well, we'll definitely have to give it a try. And now let's get back to Chuck's layout with the helix he's building and the beautiful job he's doing wrapping it in cedar.
Now I'm going to give you a little update on what I'm doing. I wrapped it with some cedar paneling. And then I might put a little bit of cedar about a ½ an inch above the track and a ½ inch below each ring. I think this end here, I'll probably put a piece of cedar up here just so it looks a little better. And I'm going to build some shelves in here around the outside.
This guy doesn't mess around. He builds his own helix and he wraps them in cedar. Got some fantastic stuff that's going on in here, y'all. He mentioned adding a thin layer of cedar around the areas of the helix where the train was exposed, so we'll still be able to see the train going around. If there's one thing Roy Smith has always told us, he's told us when guests come to your layout, they want to see those trains running. So that's a great idea, Chuck. A thin layer of cedar there around that helix will make it look great, and you'll still see the trains running.
And Chuck has released a video. It was a little too late to include in this broadcast, but he's got a train running at least on part of that helix.
And nothing better than a completed helix that's working well. Now, my understanding, y'all, is Chuck's thinking about ballasting this helix. So if you have an opinion about that, let's leave a comment below for Chuck. Let's let him know if you think he should ballast his helix or not.
And we'll bring those comments to Chuck next month on Community Roundhouse.
And so a super special thanks to Braden, Chuck, Claude, and Dale for sending us photos and layout videos. We appreciate them. It was great to get them. We hope to get more from you guys right now.
Well, I think it's time to bring out tonight's special guest. It's everybody's cousin Vinny, BNSF 6951. It's great to have you here, Vinny.
It's great to have you with us, cuz. Good to be here. Good to have you here with us, cuz.
Hey, guys, I really do appreciate you inviting me on your very first show. I am honored to do this with you guys, and I hope we have a lot of fun tonight.
The honor is most definitely ours. We are very pleased to have you here, and like I said, the honor is all on our side. When John let me know that you were willing to be our first guest, I was extremely excited. And I had a wonderful time getting to meet and talk with you last night, and I look forward to doing the same with you tonight and more in the future.
Vinny, I really like what you're doing with the streets in Wickenburg. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you know, doing the striping was a good detail. It brought the roads out really nice. But here in Arizona, on a lot of our streets, we do have those islands here. Now, I will put a disclaimer in right now that the area I'm working on was at one time pretty prototypical, but right now it's kind of like proto-Lance. because those buildings that are in Wickenburg, they're supposed to be in front of the track. But my theory was I wanted to see trains, not buildings.
Sure.
You know, so that's why I rearranged that whole
Okay.
section up there. I put the buildings in the back. I moved the track out from the front so I can get a road back there and then a road up in the front. Now that road up in the front, theoretically, if you stay on that road, it goes to Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. So Wickenburg is a real place.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's an older
Okay.
country cow town. Cowboys. Yeah, they had.
How far is it from Phoenix?
It's about 40 miles to the northwest. Yeah, it's not a very big. It's not a very big town. They do have their own fire department there, and one of my subscribers, and you all know him also, Joe G. He's a firefighter in Wickenburg.
Oh, okay. My next question was, what made you select Wickenburg? And so that's awesome.
The reason why I selected Wickenburg is because between Phoenix and Wickenburg, there's nothing. It's open desert. Okay, and there's just spotty homes here and there, like trailer parks, blah blah blah. So Wickenburg is actually the first town that you come to, and it's got significance because any freight that is coming from California or going to California, there's an exchange that happens in Wickenburg. Well, actually, it's just a little bit south of Wickenburg. It's called Castle Hot Springs. And the California, Arizona, and the BNSF do an exchange there every day, 7 o'clock in the morning, every day, 6 days a week.
So it's a pretty busy place.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as busy as, let's say, the Transcon would be, because this is basically a short line. It's only 195 miles long. From Phoenix to Ash Fork is 195 miles. And my layout does not depict anything close enough to be the prototype, because I mean, there's a section out there that's got its own horseshoe curve, Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I just don't have the room to do it,
Sure.
Yeah, most of us don't.
I was telling my daughter, I said, if I ever got into some real money, I would build a house and have a basement built. And she goes, Dad, you know how hard it is to dig into this rock and into this soil here? It's really hard, She goes, why don't you just build up? And she gave me an idea. She goes, I build up, so I make the first floor my living quarters, and upstairs, absolutely no walls. And just the bathroom, that's it.
Wow.
And you have the steps come right up into the middle of the floor, and you get true around the room.
Wow. But anyway, your layout's fantastic, and Wickenburg is coming along excellent. So give us all the updates on it. Tell us what's going on with it right now.
Well, right now, I just finished up this last video I did that I posted this past Saturday. That's as far as I'm going to go with the roads at this point. The next video I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be actually taking the roads up and laying some ground cover down, and then putting the roads back down onto the layout. I don't know if I'm going to do it that way, or if I might just leave the roads there and just do the scenery, the ground cover and stuff like that. It's up in the air because I did not stripe the road closest to where I'm going to do the scenery. So therefore, I could tape the road, tape over it and not get any dirt on the road. It's up in the air how I'm going to do it yet. I'm not 100% sure. But once the scenery gets done, in fact, Ryan, my buddy Ryan, he's doing some 3D prints of some saguaro cactus, which is cool.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the premiere or your live stream.
So I told him, I said, make a bunch of them. I'll buy a bunch of them because that's our plant here in Arizona. That's our plant, And the Wickenburg area would look really a lot better with a lot more taller cactus, like the saguaro cactus, because right now all I have right now is a little short little, like prickly pear and barrel cactus and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that he can make a few of them. And I told him I pay him for it. I don't want it for free. Just make them. Tell me how much you want, and boom, I pay you. Boom, done.
Oh, if they're 3D printed, they should come out really nice.
And I also asked him if he was going to make different heights, because those cactus. I mean, I took a picture in front of one cactus where it was 3 times my height.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, they get really
I didn't
big.
realize they get that big.
And you actually were talking about that on one of your, was it your live streams recently, or was it a premiere that you had where you?
It might have been a video. I think.
Didn't you say 18 feet tall?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I remember seeing a
Yeah.
video where you were talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm
you're right.
not
You're right.
commenting enough, Vinny. I'm sorry, but
Right. And the thing is, if I could find it, I have a picture of me in Wickenburg in front of the depot, or which is now the city chamber of commerce. I'm standing in front of the cactus that's growing right at the corner of their property, and it is twice two times me more in height. Yeah.
I didn't realize they grew that big.
Yeah.
The one I model goes between Denver and Winter Park, Colorado, which is all trees now. And then in the 50s, you can imagine it was. And I've asked that because I see your trees behind you. Did you purchase those or did you make those yourself? Not to get off Wickenburg, but I did want to know.
No, that's fine. A lot of those I bought from China.
Okay.
Some of them were gifted to me by MP to LL. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he's one of my subscribers, and he was making some trees. So it's a combination. I have not really purchased any except the ones from China, and I bought those quite a few years ago. I've had them in a little box.
Yeah.
But that's how versatile the scenery is here. Well, and I'm pretty surprised at this because there's a lot of guys that say I'm going because Vinny's
Well, I know
going.
there's certainly a lot of people looking forward to meeting.
And
you
that
there,
kind of like, okay, I appreciate that. That's really cool. For people to think that highly of me that they want to go meet me in person. That's pretty cool.
Well, you're a well-liked guy.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine you heard his name at Steamtown and he wasn't there.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of people saying they wish he was there. Yep.
It's crazy.
And people can't afford to be in this hobby because I'm broke most of the time and I do it all the time. I just repurpose as much as I can. And that's really much. I mean, I know I'm sacrificing quality some, but you really don't have to have a fortune to be in the hobby. But
the thing is, and this was a mistake I made, and I'm gonna kind of steer you away from what you just said, Brian.
Yeah.
When I first started doing this layout, I needed a bunch of turnouts. Okay. And I started looking at different prices of turnouts. Okay. I went with Atlas Code 55 turnouts. Okay. Save $1 per which meant $55 to me.
Sure.
And like I told you guys last night, when I first started this layout, I couldn't afford a pot to piss in,
Right.
And gradually, they all start to screw up on me.
Yep.
And luckily, I hooked up with Bruce Giroux, and he produced 75 turnouts for me.
Wow.
Jeez.
And that's what I did in the other room that started the major changes, was in that other room, me replacing all the turnouts and stuff. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Benny, does Bruce make those for people if they can order them from Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
And he does them for a fairly reasonable price for folks? Very good. Cool to know.
Yeah,
now, I'm Code 80, and I use Pico Code 80 turnouts, and they're fantastic.
If you had no problem, I mean, like I said, the only problem I have with the Picos was that I had to do all that work to get them to play nice with my layout.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had gone with Code 80 track, there would have been no problem.
Sure.
That was expensive because I had bought 7 of them, and 7 of them at $16 a piece, and that was cheap, $16.
Sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
But but they're still on the layout, and they give me problems every once in a while. And I tell everybody, when it goes across that turnout, it's going to stall. See, well, people think I'm crazy the way I do mine, but the way I wire my turnouts is I do all 6 rails.
Oh, okay.
And this way I don't have to worry about the frog.
Sure. You're
most of my locomotives are a long enough wheelbase where when it leaves in front of the frog and it goes across the frog, I still have power on the back wheels.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only one that I had that I might have, and I don't think I had any problem with, was this guy.
Okay.
My little switcher, because of the wheelbase.
Sure.
But I think I have a few times. I don't think I had a problem with it. I don't remember. I haven't used it in such a long time. Roy gets pissed at me because this was a gift from him. I want to use that switcher I got. Why don't you use that switcher I got?
Roy sounds like my mom. She'll buy me a shirt and then want to know why I'm not wearing it every time.
Yeah, really. You know what's funny is I've been watching a lot of guys with the Arduino, like Jimmy DIY and Tom's Trains and things and that, and I just can't get into it. I have worked so many years on computers that I don't want to know about it anymore. You know, I mean, I worked on BMWs.
Right.
And
Yeah.
BMW was always a leading technology company. Okay, so anytime new we had to go to school for it, blah blah blah, come back, and it was always computer related. You know, and on their big car, the 7 Series car, which is their flagship car, at one time had 22 computers on board.
Wow.
Yeah, and they all have to talk to each other.
All right.
So you can imagine how much troubleshooting, when we had a problem, how much troubleshooting. I mean, yeah, we had diagnostic machines, but the diagnostic machines only gave us a direction to go.
Okay.
It didn't say, hey, no, the black and white wire on terminal number 62 is bad. No, no, you have to go through all of these different steps to get to that black and white wire.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, that's an interesting thing because I'm considering going DCC++, mainly for money. And one of the things is John's going to kind of be doing that too. So I'm going to have a good go-to for help.
Right.
And I mean, what are your thoughts on DCC++, Vinny? Any?
Well, I think, you know, like I said, I haven't really been following too much on it, but from what I understand is it's the cost that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Because you can have DCC for what, $25 or $30?
Yeah, about that.
Is that, you know, rather than spending $200 or $300 for a DCC system, you know, for $25 you got one.
Sure.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, and like I said, I really haven't been following it because I didn't want to follow it.
Sure.
You know, so that's the only thing I can see is that it's cost effective. I mean, I used to sit there and watch Jimmy programming it, you know, and you got to put the parentheses in here, and you got to do this over here, and it's like,
Coding.
no, no. I'll just buy my DCC system and do it that way.
Well, one of the things that really interests me is being able to automate the layout with the PC. And I think that's something you can do with it as well. They do the Raspberry Pi and the PC, and I think that'd just be really cool to me to kind of be able to sit down at the computer, you know, and kind of run out a layout scheme or a plan or what I wanted the trains to do that day. Down the road when I have more trains and those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, but, well, you know, cuz John and I are going to do this on the 15th of every month. We understand you might be willing to come back and see us next month at this time too, right?
If you want me, you know.
Oh, we'd love to have you, cuz.
Yeah, we were thinking it'd be fantastic. We were actually trying to come up with a name for it. We didn't want to, you know, rob your live stream name with, you know, live with cuz, but we were actually trying to figure out, you know, if we had you in for the segment each time during this part where we just would have a fourth in here, which would be really cool. We'd like to name it something after you. And so we'll all get together maybe about that and see what we can come up with. Get your stamp of approval on something, or maybe even what you think. And get your ideas on that as well. Guys, I've got to get my baby. It is time for me to pick her up. And Vinny, I want to thank you so much, Vinny, for coming in with us today. More importantly, I want to thank you for being willing to come back each month with us. And we look forward to, we're going to all pester Sparky and see if we can get him on for the February 15th one. And, man, we can have a bunch of fun with that. He's got that new shed. We got tons of stuff we could get with him on that.
Yeah, in fact.
Well, thanks a lot, cuz. We really appreciate you being here. It was an honor having
All right, well,
you.
like
I appreciate y'all. Sorry I got to dip out, but I did let him know that I'd come get her around this time. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you,
And
cuz.
like I said earlier, guys, I really do appreciate you guys inviting me to your first show. I really do appreciate that, and I hope the rest of your shows go as well as I think this one went tonight.
And we'll see you on February 15th, too. And we want to thank you very much for coming and being with us today.
Thank you,
All right,
cuz.
well, no
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Talk to you guys
Pleasure
later.
was all on our end, man. Thank you so much, Vinny. Wickenburg is awesome. We look forward to seeing more.
Well, there'll be another one out Saturday, so
All right, we'll be there.
Sounds good.
bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Alright guys, welcome back to Wickenburg, where I'm going to show you in this video how we go from this just painted up plastic styrene sheet to a little bit of road markings, and then finally to this area right here. And this is basically how it's all going to look as it goes down the center of the road. Anyhow, you want to see how that's all done, then stay tuned and watch the video.
Guys, I want to tell you something. I've been watching Vinny for a year every Friday night, and it was such a pleasure. I want to thank him so much for coming in and sitting down a couple times with John and I. We had a ball. He is a fantastic fella. He's even cooler than he is live when you can interact back and forth with him. Thank you so much, Vinny. We really appreciate you coming in with us on this very first episode, our lead-off episode of Community Roundhouse. Certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We had a great time, cuz. You're certainly welcome back anytime. With this being our first episode of Community Roundhouse, we don't have any What's Coming videos. So Brian and I decided that we should prime the tip jar.
Yeah, John and I both have lots going on our layouts coming up in February, and you're going to see what's going on mine in February right now. Hey everybody, this is Brian coming to you with a sneak peek of what's going to happen here on the DNRGW Iron Horse route in February. As you might know, I recently redid my helix. I replaced it with hardboard instead of foam board. I also replaced the foam board here with hardboard. The only place on my layout today that has not been recently redone with new flex and hardboard is this area right down here, and that's what's going to happen in February, everybody. I'm going to be replacing the hardboard from here to here with one solid piece. I'm going to be putting a new turnout in to connect to the spur that goes down by the sawmill. And what I'll also be doing is bringing in an additional piece that's going to come off the turnout, and we will circle right back around up to another level to eventually come and meet this turnout right here and connect on the upper part of the helix for the extension. And I look forward to seeing you in February for the developments on my layout.
And here's a short clip of what I've got coming up in February on my layout.
I originally planned this layout to be simple DC, but after I had run the bus wires for all 4 railroads, I decided to switch to DCC++. Rather than redo any wiring, I decided to build an equipment box which would house the DCC++ components, as well as give me a place to connect the bus wires. It's a little dark under here and difficult to see, so let's take a different look. The DCC++ system consists of an Arduino Uno and a board called a motor shield. The motor shield sits directly on top of the Arduino, and I'll go over how these are connected a little bit later. The power comes in from a DC power supply and connects directly to the inputs of the motor shield. The motor shield has 2 sets of outputs. One I ran to a power distribution board, which connects to the track buses. The other output from the motor shield goes to the programming track. And the USB cable, which connects the Arduino and motor shield to the computer, is connected here.
Fantastic explanation on that wiring and everything, John. I tell you what, I'm an electrical idiot, but I almost understood what you said there.
Thank you.
Excellent shot. So each month, John and I are going to have a blooper segment here on the Community Roundhouse, y'all. And so what we did this month is we just put a couple together to show you what we're wanting, and we're going to ask for you to send more to us. We're expecting this to be an excellent and a fun part of the show. We really hope you guys in the community will contribute.
Well, we certainly all make mistakes, and they can be fun, so why not laugh at yourself?
Well, I make more bloopers than I do videos, so this part's going to be easy for me, John. So what we're asking you to do is, as you shoot your videos and make your bloopers, you save them. I'm going to show you a couple of mine coming up right this second. That's right. Tonight we have some great... Tonight and a mystery guest coming live to you. Well, no, he wasn't live recorded, was he? And John and I want to welcome to you to...
And mine's a little bit more embarrassing, since mine's actually been published. If you've seen my videos, you've probably seen this clip. but this is actually the second version. It's a shot of my 210-4. I added the SRV nameplate to the front and the steam effect, and I was quite proud of it, so I started including it in my videos. It wasn't until I was reviewing about the 5th or 6th video that I caught my mistake. Let's take a look back at the original. So, Brian, can you pick out my error?
I think you give a new definition to tooting the wrong horn, John.
I'm really surprised nobody called me on that. I certainly would have deserved it.
Yeah, John, nobody called you on it, but I tell you what, it would take a keen eye and even a more keen ear to catch that right there.
Like I said, I would have deserved it.
Can happen to the best of them. Bloopers happen to everybody, y'all. They happen to me. They happen to the John. We know they happen to you. Save them for us. Send them to us.
Let's share them with the community and everybody get a good laugh about it. You know, it's actually a good thing, especially for the newcomers, to see that everybody makes these mistakes.
Y'all, John makes an excellent point. If the guys that are new to model railroading and new to video creating see some of you veteran guys make mistakes, they might be more inclined to get some confidence together and start uploading videos themselves.
It's easy to believe that these things only happen to you.
Oh, it happens to me. And John and I really want to thank you for tuning in today to our very first premiere episode of the Community Roundhouse. It's episode 1. We got to thank those guys that contributed today. Dale, Braden, Vinny, Chuck, and Claude. We certainly appreciate y'all very much. I want to thank everybody who showed up for the premiere, everybody that's been active in chat. I want to encourage you to share this with your other modeling friends that you think might enjoy these videos.
And don't forget to check out our website at SchuylkillRiverValley.com/Community Roundhouse to find out how you can get involved. We want to share your layout with the community.
That's right. We don't care if it's good, bad, or ugly. We want to know what happened last month and what's coming up ahead for the next month for you on your model railroad layout.
Thanks a lot for coming today. We really appreciate your support.
We also want to encourage you to come back and join us on February 12th. That's the second Wednesday of the month. That's when the Community Roundhouse is going to air every month on the second Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to air as a premiere. We hope that you and the friends you invite will join us then.
And next month's Community Roundhouse will be aired on D&RGW Iron Horse Route, Brian's channel.
Thanks, guys.